Okay, Almaden Valley, where are the prices going? What does the spring market look like for real estate? Well, stay tuned. We're going to get into the data. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with homeownerexperience.com, your San Jose real estate agent who lives and loves Almaden Valley. So today, we're going to talk about what's going on with the market. I can tell you there are some crazy pending prices. The closed prices are mind-blowing, and the year-over-year data is really exciting. So if you're considering selling or buying in the area, you probably want to get a sense of what's actually going on in the market. So we're going to look at the data, and I'm going to give you some leading indicators that might give you a sense of what's happening and discuss this actual data. So let's jump on into the screen. Okay, so here we have the chart of Almaden real estate through March 2022. So as you can see, this dotted blue line shows the pending sales are way up. Prices made a huge jump in 2022, and the inventory, this yellow line, is still relatively low. Now, it's a little bit higher than 2021, but it is definitely at winter levels if we look at all the prior years before that. So that is fueling a pretty crazy market and these prices that we've seen. But if you notice this orange line, it started to level off, and actually the blue line, which is the median prices, went down, meaning there was, I guess, some more of the lower end homes in Almaden that sold. So let's dig into this a little bit further. Supply is improving for March, but still relatively low, like I pointed out. I expect the supply to continue to increase. Between the inventory that I know is coming and just the season, I know there's going to be more homes in Almaden Valley for sale. Demand is very strong, and typically in Almaden Valley, it holds through June and then really settles in July and August with people taking vacations and getting ready for school. Since this is such a school-focused neighborhood, we are really pretty influenced by that school cycle. So if you look here, actually many years the sales have dropped, but the inventory usually peaks midsummer and goes down. Sales will hold fairly decent, but prices usually, actually 2020 and 2021 were very strange years that we had busy falls. But if you look at previous years, actually the falls tend to go down in price a little bit. So will we see that this year? Well, let's dig into it a little further. So here's the actual data looking from the month before as well as the year before. So prices continue to go up year over year, but they actually did settle slightly versus last month. Last month, the current median price is 2.44 million, where last month it was all the way up to 2.67 million. And I mentioned just before, it's probably because there was more higher end homes selling the previous month than they were this month, because this is the median price, right? Not the average. Now the average is holding about steady at around 2.5 million, which is pretty crazy and spectacular for Almaden Valley. Those numbers, obviously, we haven't seen. The median is up even 28% year over year. So just really strong. Percent of homes in contracts is still also really strong. Over 70% is an excellent seller's market. And buyers are paying on average 17.4% over. I have properties pending at that number and even higher. So again, this is the average. It's pretty high, and it is a record. We have not seen this. Last year we saw 112%, and that was a record. Prior to that, it was many, many years back. So pretty spectacular market. Days of inventory is holding pretty consistent. We've closed 28 sales, which is up a lot from February. But remember, if we're closing them in March, they went into contract in February. So that's typically when the market starts to turn on. And we are up year over year in closed sales, even from March last year. So that's a good sign. The pending sales are even stronger at 45. They're slightly down from the year before, but up for sure from the month before. So buyers are showing tons of interest in Almaden Valley, and we can expect that interest to continue. Some of the leading indicators I'm going to talk about on this next slide. Prices are so high that I expect this level to settle here soon. Part of the reason we're seeing 17-18% over asking is the comparable sales are pending. They haven't closed. Prices have changed so quickly that it's very hard to comp or to list a property at a high value because there's no closed sales to support it. Now I expect that to level off a little bit, so we'll get some closed numbers to support the new sales. Appraisals won't be as hard, and the market should settle a little bit, giving a little bit of breathing room to buyers and sellers. Don't worry, because that means you should be able to sell at the same price your neighbor did if you have a comparable home. But I just don't see how these prices can continue to go up, up, up. It's just not sustainable. And buyers, they're out really strong. They're out stronger than several Marches in a row. So it's a good market. So how does this look compared to the San Jose market? Well, San Jose also has very relatively low supply. Demand made a huge jump in San Jose. Actually, we're at pending numbers we've never seen before. Almaden, not quite that extreme, but good, strong pending numbers. So they are somewhat similar, but I think Almaden tends to not swing as much in general as overall San Jose. And part of that is the price point for San Jose is one of the highest in San Jose. Okay, so back to the Almaden focus. What am I seeing in the field? Well, first off, the pending prices are even higher. So I do expect prices to appreciate next month again when these sales that are pending now close. But the number of offers is decreasing. I've seen quite a big decrease from January to February to March. We're seeing 4 to 5 offers now on a property, which is still excellent and really strong, but just not as extreme as what we were seeing earlier in the year. So as those more inventory comes on the market, interest rates continue to increase, the number of offers on a property is also going to decrease. So hold tight. If you're looking to sell, you want to do it sooner rather than later so that you hopefully have a couple offers to choose from. I do expect supply to go up. Like I mentioned before, I have some in my inventory coming, but demand will continue to be strong. So hopefully that will stay as a strong seller's market, just with a little less offers through the early summer. So next, definitely check out my 2 latest videos about interest rates. One was giving a perspective of 2015 versus 2022, and the other one is talking a little bit more about payments and how that's affected as interest rates rise. There's some good tips in those videos, so check them out.